In April 1996, on 149th Street in Flushing, New York, Korean American Civic Empowerment was founded. It was the beginning to a structured organization of volunteers who had run voter registration drives in the Korean American community. What they focused on wasn't anything complicated. It was to encourage people to register to vote, deliver the registration forms to the Board of Elections, and campaign to turn out to vote. It was something anybody could have done. So, not many Korean Americans considered it important. In its voter registration campaign, KACE adopted the slogan, increasing the Korean American community's political footing. At the time, many Korean Americans thought that the right way to achieve that goal was making personal relationships with politicians. They assumed that the American society ran on personal ties. But KACE was aware that such an approach had a limit. The ideal path would be organizing the support of the people, meaning grassroots, while the community leaders, grass tops, convinced the policymakers. That's the type of political growth our community needed to pursue. KACE carried on with its voter registration drives over the years. In the first 10 years, it helped to register over 1,500 new Korean American voters and assisted more than 500 voters in updating their addresses every year. And come election season, KACE campaigned to encourage voter participation. The consistent voter advocacy work of KACE in New York and New Jersey slowly but surely took root in the Korean American community. As a result, KACE was growing into a leading grassroots organization in the area. Then in 2007, KACE was presented an opportunity to test its local organized power of the people in the United States Congress. It was House Resolution 121, otherwise known as the Comfort Women Resolution. Among the many Korean American organizations across the country, KACE was the only one with experience in local grassroots mobilization. So KACE set a strategy to raise awareness of the resolution and rally support, which led to the very first nationwide grassroots campaign in the Korean American community. KACE drew other Korean American organizations across the nation into the campaign and prompted each region to establish a support coalition to build a campaign structure that anyone could join. Congressman Mike Honda introduced the resolution and strongly pushed forward the movement. And for the first time ever, organizations all over the United States participated in a grassroots petition in a coordinated and structured manner. Tens of thousands of signatures were sent to KACE from all across the country. They were then delivered to each corresponding member of Congress. Throughout a dozen lobby days, people would deliver the signatures in person again. The effort gained a supporting member of Congress one by one. Eventually, on July 30th, 2007, the Comfort Women Resolution was unanimously adopted by the United States House of Representatives. The success of the Korean American community's very first nationwide grassroots campaign on the Comfort Women Resolution led to a rapid growth of the political power of our community. In 2007, the top political newspaper, The Hill, wrote that the Korean American community grew through the Comfort Women Resolution campaign into a powerful community comparable to the Jewish, Taiwanese, and Cuban communities. Through this campaign, KACE was able to develop meaningful relationships with many members of Congress and a network that spans across the nation. Soon, KACE started to receive request after request to join in various issues related to the Korean American community, such as the visa waiver program between the US and South Korea, KOREA's free trade agreement, high-skilled visas for Korean nationals, and more issues that call for a nationwide support campaign.
위안부 결의안 통과되면서 워싱턴의 작동 방식을 배웠습니다. 전국의 한인들이 같이 할 수 있는 일을 찾지 않을 수 없었습니다. 그렇기 때문에 전국의 한인들이 같이 할 수 있는 일, 90일간 한국에서 미국 올 때 한국 사람들이 비자 없이 오는 거요. 이거 우리가 서명운동을 통해 가지고서 한 70% 동포들 서명운동으로 이거를 해냈습니다. 이어서 여러분들 전국에 있는 한인 커뮤니티에 이 경제 문제, 통화량이 증가되는 거, 프리 트레이드 어그리먼트, FTA죠. 이 경제적인 두 나라의 울타리를 없애는 일인데요. 이거 역시 우리가 한 20여 명 이상의 아주 지독하게 반대하는 민주당 쪽 의원들을 지역 논리로 설득해서 서명운동하고요. 이거 큰 역할을 했습니다. 재미가 들렸죠. 워싱턴이 작동을 하는 방식. 뉴욕의 이러한 그라스루트 운동을 전국 한인사회에 이렇게 이제 확산시키고 네트워킹을 해서 그야말로 풀뿌리 운동 지금 열심히 하고 있습니다. 이게 워싱턴의 한인들의 힘을 만들고 워싱턴 의회에 한국 사람들의 시민으로서의 역할을 들어가는 게 코리안 아메리칸 그래스루트 컨퍼런스라는 이런 풀뿌리 운동의 지금 시작 단계입니다. 뉴욕의 동포들이 정치 참여 열심히 한 것이 한 20여 년 동안의 결실이 지금 이러한 성과를 내고 있다고 하는 게 틀린 말이 아니죠.
It was necessary to establish a presence in Congress on a regular basis to strengthen the political footing of the Korean American community of not only New York and New Jersey, but across the nation. Since 2009, in the 111th Congress, KACE began to visit the opening day of each Congress to deliver congratulatory messages and contemporary policy priorities for the Korean American community. These visits serve as a platform to convey the positive message that our community observes the ongoings of Congress and further introduce the significance and influence of our community as an active part of the American society to those members of Congress unfamiliar with Korean Americans. Based on these experiences, KACE launched a new program in order to bolster local civic engagement through grassroots activist education and collectively develop a mature Korean American political network on a national level. This is the annual Korean American Grassroots Conference. It was the first step in building a nationwide network that can readily initiate a national campaign. In the inaugural KAGC, hosted in Washington, D.C. in July 2014, over 300 Korean American activists attended from across the United States. Over 3 days, they were educated on activities in various local Korean American communities and prepared for initiatives for their own communities. Especially, the Korean Americans boasted their political growth at the gala hosted on the second day of the conference, joined by 2 U.S. senators, including the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee at the time, Bob Menendez, and 9 representatives. The members of Congress in attendance emphasized the significance of the Korean American community to the Korean American constituents from their districts.
We have passed legislation overwhelmingly in the Congress to take a position that history should be taught as it occurred.
It is time that we have done this, to stand up, have the courage to do it. And I support those congressmen and those House members and senators that are willing to do it.
And I was proud to vote for KORUS because it was a high-quality trade agreement among equals, and that is the type of trade agreement I like to see.
And I look forward to working with you in making sure that we can always be.
And so wherever I can go to be able to prove how different people's different backgrounds and different cultures can work together for a better America.
And that the future of the political power and the influence of the Korean community is really growing. This is the first annual, and maybe you'll need an even bigger ballroom for the second.
Anyone from New York here? On how to reach out and engage elected officials and politicians and the community. And I'm so proud of you for doing that.
2014 Korean American Grassroots Conference. This evening you have seen more Congress people come through this room to celebrate with you your accomplishments and your work. And I think that you should be very proud of the work that you have done from the grassroots all the way up to Capitol Hill.
In preparation for the second KAGC in July 2015, KACE traveled across the country to educate grassroots activism for increasing political footing. It was organizing local Korean American communities in Chicago, Houston, Virginia, and all parts of the nation, and again assembling all together at the KAGC in Washington, D.C. As a result, 13 members of Congress honored the 2015 KAGC Gala with their presence, an increase from the previous year. Korean American civic empowerment that started on a street in Flushing 19 years ago is now at the center of the National Grassroots Network. This achievement, however, is not only by KACE alone. It was made possible by the friendship and support of the Korean Americans in New York and New Jersey. Now that KACE has grown from a local stage to a national level, KACE needs our community support and engagement more than ever. KACE deeply appreciates all members of the Korean American community who support us, and we ask for your continued support.